Hola chicos, ¿cómo están? Hoy vamos a hablar de double object pronouns. You might have learned them before by themselves as indirect objects and direct object pronouns. But today we are going to talk about this because you can use them together in the same sentence. So let's look again at this. So indirect object pronouns, we have me, when it's about me, te, you, the familiar form, le, he, she, it, and usted, the formal form, nosotros, us, and les is they and ustedes. Okay. Um, indirect objects, we use them when indirect and direct objects, we use them when we don't want to repeat a noun that has already been said. So to avoid that redundance or that repetition, we use indirect object pronouns, and this is done in English as well. So, we already mentioned some the indirect object pronouns. Let's look at direct object pronouns. They are basically the same thing, but they change in the third person singular and plural. You can tell in direct object pronouns it's just le and les, and direct object pronouns we have lo, la, los, las. Which means that when we use direct object pronouns, you're gonna have to agree in gender and number, right? Lo is gonna be something masculine, la something feminine, los and las, los will be something masculine and plural, and la something feminine and plural, okay? So this is something to keep in mind. So how do we identify indirect and direct object pronouns? So I'm going to teach you a trick that I use, which is these following questions that you can keep in mind. So when we talk about indirect object pronouns, they're going to answer the question for whom or to whom the action is being done. Okay? Let's back up a little bit. First, you're going to look at the sentence, right? You're going to identify the verb, the action of the sentence, what is being done. After you identify this, you're going to identify for whom or to whom this action is being done. That's going to give you your indirect object pronoun, right? Then, after you have this, you're going to look at what's being affected by this action. That is affected by the action is going to be your direct object pronoun. And when you place them together, when you replace it with the the object pronouns, you're going to have to keep in mind this there is an order in which you place this object pronouns. So here it is, the rule that we use. Indirect before direct. Always follow this order. Indirect before direct. So this is going to go first and this is going to be second. Okay? Let's look at some examples, so this is going to make a lot more sense. Okay? Okay. Ejemplo número 1. Mi abuelo me está comprando un pescado. That's a typo there. I'm sorry, guys. Un pescado para la cena. Okay. So let's look. What's our action? And let's change the color so we know what's going on. What's the action here? What's the verb? Muy bien. Comprar. But this time is in a present progressive, so it's happening. Está comprando. It's made out of the two verbs. Okay, and now remember, we first identified the action, the verb, then we look for the indirect object, which is the question that we have here. For whom or to whom this action is being done, or for whom or to whom the fish is being bought. Muy bien. Me. For me. It's being bought for me. And it's just a coincidence that is the indirect object, or is already written there. Okay, so we have the action and the indirect object pronoun. Now we have to look at the next question. What is being affected by the action? What is being affected by the action? So we know the action in some mi abuelo is buying something. Why is that my grandpa is buying? Let's use yellow. Un pescado. Muy bien. Un pescado. So this is how the sentence it's gonna look when we use the object pronouns. We start with the sentence, just how it is. Mi abuelo. Remember, we have indirect before direct. Me, which is our indirect object, which was already in the sentence, so we don't have to think much about it. But then un pescado. So let's look at it. Un pescado. ¿Es un pescado femenino o masculino? Muy bien. ¿Es plural o singular? Un pescado. It's going to be singular, right? So we're going to look at this. Lola. ¿Es femenino o masculino? Un pescado. Es masculino. So we're left with singulars and then the masculine of the singular. Lo. Me. Lo. And then we have the action. Está comprando. Mi abuelo me lo está comprando. Let's look at the next example. Let's go back to red. Again, we first look at the action. What's the action? Mis padres están cocinando el bistec para nosotros. Mis padres están cocinando. Again, it's a present progressive verb. So, it's a present progressive tense, I'm sorry. Está cocinando, made out of the two. First question is, for whom or to whom is the action being done? So for whom or to whom? Mis padres están cocinando. Mis padres are the ones doing the action, so it's not done for them or to them, right? Para nosotros is done for us. Muy bien. And now we have to identify what is being affected by the action. What is being cooked? El bistec, right? We're cooking the steak. Which leaves us with mis padres. Indirect before direct. So what's our indirect? Nosotros. Meaning that the equivalent is nos. Then we have direct object. Bistec. El bistec. Is it plural or is it singular? It's singular. Meaning that we are left with lo and la. Is it plural? Is it feminine or is it masculine? Muy bien. Masculino. Lo. Nos lo. And our verb. No lo. Oh, oopsies. No lo está cocinando. Muy bien. We have two more examples. Let's go through them really quick. Again, a Catalina le sirvieron la sopa fría. Servieron, to serve. Sopa is soup and fría is cold. What's the action? Sirvieron. For whom or to whom is this action being done? For whom or to whom? Muy bien. So this time, like you can tell, the indirect object, just like in our first option, example, it was already given. Le. It's Catalina. A Catalina is just emphasizing that it's being served to her. Okay. And then we have what is being served? La sopa. So this turns to Catalina. We have le. Our indirect or direct object, la sopa. Plural o singular? Muy bien, singular. Femenino o masculino? Femenino, so la. And then we have our verb, sirvieron. Okay? Trick part here is that because phonetics, we can't do lela. Okay? It sounds weird, it doesn't go, it's just something that happens with the language. Okay? So instead, when we have lela or lelo or lelas or lelos, we don't do l. Okay? So every time we have lela, lelo, lelas, lelos, this is what's going to happen. That le is going to become se. And so we're going to be left with a Catalina se la sirvieron. Then we can give the information for you. Okay? So the first one is going to be wrong. Why is it wrong? Because we don't do le, las, lelos, okay? Se la sirvieron fría. Okay, last example. A los estudiantes les enviaron invitaciones. What's the action? What's the verb? What happened? Enviaron, right? To send. Then we look at our indirect object. Muy bien. So, for whom or to whom were they, was something sent? To the students. Oh, oops. To the students, and we need our blue. And we have it here, just like in the other example, les. And so since our action is enviar, to send, what was sent? Muy bien, invitaciones, invitations. Which turns to a los estudiantes. Again, we are left with les invitaciones. Plural o singular? Plural, muy bien. Las invitaciones. You don't have an article to know, but you can look the word online. Las invitaciones. It's going to be feminine. So, and it's plural. So, las enviaron. Oh, what happened here? Okay, muy bien. So, again, we can have les, las. This is wrong. Les, las. So, what's going to happen? A los estudiantes. What happened with les? Se las enviaron. Muy bien. Another thing that you have to look at this. Since se can be used for él, ella, usted, ellos, ellas, ustedes, can be 6 different things. So that's why we use a los estudiantes, a Catalina, because it makes it clear if we're talking about ella or él or ellos or ellas or usted or ustedes, okay? That's why we have it there. It's not necessary, but it just makes it make much more sense, okay? And for you guys, it will be nice to like look at this and to do the whole long version of it. Ok, chicos. Por ahora, eso es todo. Si tienen preguntas, vayan al tablero de discusiones, discussion board, okay? And we'll work on clarifying different concepts if you need to. Okay. Chao. Feliz día. Chao.